Hello, this is Ward at ProSkydiving.com. We've prepared some online video tutorials for you to familiarize yourself with ProSkydiving.com, and also as a training tool for drop zones that are pro members to become a little more familiar with the tools they have at their hands and what they can do with ProSkydiving.com. So we hope you enjoy. If you have any requests for tutorials you'd like to see done, please let me know at Ward at ProSkydiving.com and I'll get those made for you. Hello everyone. Welcome to the tutorial on installing JumpRun 5 and the departure viewer. I'm running Microsoft XP on VMware on a Mac machine, but it's just like running Microsoft XP. I'm going to take this straight to the manual and actually read through the manual as I do it. Some of these processes are time consuming, so there'll be some pauses in here, but I'll walk you right through installing JumpRun 5. So first thing you want to do is you want to open your manual, take a look at it. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get down to installing the software. I'm just going to take it step by step with the manual. I'm going to put this manual on my other screen so it doesn't take up the screen here. Nope, I'm not. Let's get getting started. Okay, you're going to have to install a database server. Let's get to the crap here. Let's getting started. Network particulars. You do want to definitely read through the entire manual, especially for setting up your company, because I could make hours and hours of tutorials as to how to set your company up. But we're going to do one overall tutorial as to how to use it. I'm going to do one as to how to set up your company, and I'm going to do one on installing JumpRun, which is this mode right now. So ready to go. I'll pause for just a moment. Okay, I'm back. We're actually to 1.51, installing the client software. It says it's actually pretty easy. It may also be dangerous if you have a large drop zone and have other database applications running on the same machines. Most of you won't have that. So what we need to do to install the client software, just run setup execute from the installation CD and do the usual things you do, like choose where the program is to be installed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open JumpRun. You're going to find setup in your folder of JumpRun, which is right here. Double click on it. Now it's going to start setting up JumpRun 5. It's going to hit next, yes, next. This is where I want to put it. Program Fulls DZ Tools JumpRun 5. Next, next, next. Now it's putting everything in that I need for JumpRun 5. I'm going to pause for just a moment again while this happens. One or more files did not properly self-register. I did get these last time, and it's just a fonts. That's not on my computer. It's not a big deal. Just kind of click through OK. Get past these, and it'll just say setup is finished installing JumpRun 5 in your computer. So now it is installed. So I'm going to take another quick little timeout. Okay, I'm going to close my JumpRun folder. Next thing it says is you will have now in your programs a JumpRun 5 categories, which you do have right here. Okay. Then it says the first thing you should do is run the SQL client configuration program. This controls the way that your computer talks to a SQL database. So we have to install a SQL database basically, and when you run it, the following screen will appear. Choose TCP/IP as your default network library. Here we go. So we're going to use pause 1 second. Okay, as it said, the first thing you want to do is run the SQL client configuration program. That's found under your JumpRun 5 program. So we'll go to Start, Programs, JumpRun 5, SQL client configuration. it said to use TCP/IP as your default network library. So we will enable, we'll take that out if we don't want that. We'll enable, and we'll hit apply. Okay. It also says once this is configured, you will probably never use the little program again. So we did set it for TCP/IP. See if it does have any installation issues, difficulties running setup, execute, most of the following information. Okay, these are just possible problems. Okay, now installing the database engine. Since we have no way of knowing if you have SQL Server already installed on a server somewhere, the version of SQL that is distributed with this suite of programs is installed by one of the application programs you installed and set up execute. If you already have SQL Server installed on your network, you can skip this step. However, most people do not. So we need to install the SQL Server. Close on any other applications and disable your antivirus protection so the installation will run smoothly. After you've installed the client software on the computer where the databases are to be stored, start the program labeled Database Maintenance in the Jump Run 5 program group. And it'll look like this. So we're going to start Database Maintenance in the Jump Run 5 group. There we go. And we'll get a screen that looks like this, just as they're showing us. Okay. The only thing you can do at this point is install SQL. It will take a long time. First SQL will be installed, and the latest service pack for SQL will be installed. When it finally finishes, you will need to reboot your computer. So what we're going to do over here is we're going to install SQL. We're not going to put a system administrator password in there. We're going to leave that empty so we don't have to put it in later. So we're going to hit OK, and that will... I just clicked through these errors. So I deleted this and re-added it so many times through the tutorials. It shouldn't come up for you. If it does, just hit OK through these. And this is going to look in Jump Run. It will be under the, I believe, SQL setup. Let's check. Yeah. Nope. It's under MSDE times 86 execute. Okay, so we'll look over here, and you didn't see where that was. It was in SQL setup. Once that box opens and asks you where you want to open it from, you go to SQL setup, and MSDE times 86. And then over here you can read when you choose OK, we'll ask you to locate file MSDE86 on your installation CD and provide you with a command box. After that, they'll ask you where you want your SQL installed and where you want to store the data. They will show you this kind of window 2 times. Once you can specify where SQL should be installed, and another time so you can specify where you want your data installed. So we found that program. We're going to hit open. Into the path where you would like SQL Server installed. I'm actually going to put it, we'll just keep it on the C, MS SQL 7. Okay. And then now enter the path where you'd like the databases to be. We'll keep it there as well, C, MS SQL 7. Hit OK. Now this is the part that's going to take a long time, so I'm going to pause it for now until that gets finished. Okay, during my setup it gave me this error, cannot load SQL Server. That's because I'm using VMware, I'm not using actual Windows XP. I ran into this problem before, it's not a big deal, just hit OK and get past it. Service pack installation failed, that's fine, it still works, hit OK to get past that. You probably won't even have these errors at all. And then it says that we should reboot your maintenance machine before proceeding, OK. As it says over here, when the installation finally does finish and you get your cursor back, select Done and not OK, then reboot your computer. That's what we're going to do. We're going to click Done. Now we're going to reboot our computer. So I'm going to restart, and then I'm going to pause and get back to the back up. Okay, we're back. The next step in the manual. And if you have any problems with any of this, remember we always give 24/7 free customer support and training, so we'll help walk you through it if you're having problems or if you're setting up multiple servers or multiple monitors or anything like that. We'll help you through it. But the next step, it says, after the restart, you can check to see that the Microsoft Data Engine has a program group. It looks like this. Let's take a look. Start programs, MSDE. Yep, there it is, right there, Service Manager, okay? You'll also notice a little right here, your SQL Service Manager saying that it's there and it's running, okay? That's a little SQL database server saying it's working. It says it'll appear in the task tray, which it has. And it says you might as well open the Service Manager and tell SQL to start when the operating system starts. So just right click on it, open SQL Service Manager. It is clicked, auto start service when OS starts. Okay, great. After that, you can close the Service Manager. Now, next step is to create our database. Now that you have the SQL Server installed, we're going to start the database maintenance program on the computer where SQL is installed and choose the radio button that says Create a New Database. And to do that, it says to start the database maintenance program on the computer where SQL is installed and choose the radio button that says Create a New Database. So that's over here in your Start, Programs, Jump Run, Database Maintenance. And it says to create a new database. So we are going to do that by clicking Create a New Database. And then it says when you choose OK, it will ask you for the database name and where you would like your database to live. OK. So we're going to enter a name for our database. It's going to be Jump Run 5DB. And I'm going to hit OK. And then it's going to ask you where we want to store it. So I'm going to store it on my C drive in the same place. Actually, I'm going to store it in my documents to get there a little easier. So we're going to put it in my documents. That's where I want to keep my database. Locate JR5 model MDF on the CD or your hard drive. So we're going to look for JR5 model.mdf. So we'll go back to our desktop and locate the JR5 model MDF. That's in Jump Run, and it's going to be JR5 model MDF. Right here. Hit OK. And that's where it is. It's on desktop in my Jump Run folder. And right there. Okay, so we found the JR model MDF file they wanted. So we'll hit open that. Database has been created. We said where we wanted to create it. We found the file they wanted, and database has been created. We'll pull the manual back up. See what? Backup is complete. Okay. Backup is complete. Now it's going to do that twice, and it tells you about that right here. Once you've chosen a home for your database, it will ask you to find a file called objects.txt on the installation DLA located with a common dialog box. Okay. The database that built it will back up 2 important system databases, which is what it just did. Once that is done, you're ready to start defining. Okay, that is basically the setup of Jump Run 5 right there, and so that that's all the steps it takes to install Jump Run 5. Now we're good to go. We can hit done, and so this is where you start configuring your company. So for example, we'll go to Programs, Jump Run 5, and we'll actually run Jump Run 5. Because now it brings you this login and it requests a server, where the server is. Well, a lot of people can't find that, okay? And it automatically puts in the My Dropzone database or what you named it. So if you can't find it, go over here, click on this, open SQL Service Manager, and it will show you the database server. Copy this, paste it here, and then the database is My Dropzone database. You can actually look for it if you want. It's called Jump Run 5 database. That's what we saved it as.
under this server, and so it'll automatically find it when you click that. If you don't want security, you don't have to do login or password, and it will remember this from here on out every time you open it. Hit OK. Every time you open Jump Run 5, it'll tell you the current business date is. Depending on the last time that you opened the Jump Run 5, you always want to change the day, okay, to the current date, because say it's been 3 or 4 days since you used it. We'll just hit change day. Now Jump Run 5 is open, and it's time to start setting up your company. But that's how to install Jump Run 5, how to install your database, and then I'll make another tutorial on basically setting up your company. But that is the gist of installing Jump Run 5 and setting up your database. Another portion, which is a really simple portion, it's setting up Departure Viewer. You just find your Departure Viewer folder, click Departure Viewer, hit Setup, and it will automatically set up your Departure Viewer. Hit yes to everything. Sets up your Departure Viewer, and done. That way, when you go into Programs, Jump Run 5, you got Departure Viewer right there. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me at ward@proskydiving.com. If you're going to add them to multiple computers, multiple stations, then feel free to contact me and I'll help you through it. Or you can check out our other tutorials on Jump Run and proskydiving.com, on facebook.com/proskydiving, or on youtube.com/proskydiving. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and blue skies.